What are you hearing on the ground in the Badger State? Who has the edge today?
Well, good morning. Well, I think if you're looking at enthusiasm, I think we certainly do. I think the people who are supporting President Trump and Eric Hovde for U.S. Senate and our congressional candidates, they realize that this is a make or break moment for America, that the Democrats have literally put us on a path of destruction. We simply cannot have another 4 or 8 years of Democrat governance. So we certainly are enthused. Republican early voting is way up. I've heard reports that Democrat early voting is slightly down. Democrats have a good get out the vote effort, certainly in college towns like Madison. But we have the enthusiasm on our side. I don't have any doubt about that at all.
Yeah, I know Trump and Republicans have been talking about going out to vote early, so apparently it's working. But Trump and Harris, they've also been paying a lot of attention to Wisconsin and other blue wall states. Between both campaigns, Wisconsin's been visited over 40 times, including just yesterday, running mates Tim Walz and J.D. Vance both visited that state. How important are these visits and to this state? And, you know, do you think that this, by having Trump come so much, do you think that people see that? Does that resonate?
Oh, it absolutely does. And again, if you go to a Trump rally, I think what is most noticeable about Trump rallies is the gathering of individuals who fervently love this country. I think that separates us from the Democrats. You got President Obama saying that he wanted to fundamentally transform America. And I ask the question, do you even like, much less love, something you want to fundamentally transform? And let's face it, they've been on this fundamentally transform America track now for more than a decade, and what they've done is fundamentally destroy the country. They opened the border, massive deficit spending, sparked 40-year high inflation. A dollar you held at the start of the Biden administration is now worth 83 cents. That's why people can't afford things. So, again, if this were, if we had a sane world with an unbiased media, this election wouldn't even be close. But unfortunately, we have a very insane world driven by a complicit and corrupt media that is backing the Democrats.
Yeah, absolutely. The media plays a big role in this. You mentioned, so one side will use scare tactics. So Harris will go out there and use scare tactics. And then Walz has done that. But at an event yesterday, he had a different strategy than his usual attacks on Donald Trump. Instead, he's pushing unity. Take a look.
Decisions that are made over the next 24, 36 hours when those polls close will shape not just the next 4 years, they will shape the coming generations. We've got a chance. And it's a rare thing to do in the moment that we're living in to elect a new generation of leadership, a new way forward, a hopeful, unified America that holds true to our values. That's why you're here today.
So they're on the same team, but we have Harris, who has Oprah last night talking about, how this election is so important, how, who knows what can happen. So they're talking unity 1 second, and then they're saying they're instilling fear tactics. Is it a little too late for unity from this campaign?
Well, when Democrats talk unity, that's a huge, massive lie. They are the party of fear and division, lies and deception. That's all they got. They cannot run on the record. That's what critical race theory is all about. That's what identity politics is all about. So they realize that a unified nation, that's an appealing message, but they've done the exact opposite. I think President Biden was one of the most divisive presidents in our history, calling half America garbage, accusing half of America of being potential domestic terrorists. Hillary Clinton saying we're deplorable. President Obama saying we get bitter and we cling to our guns and religion. No. The Democrat Party, they are the divisive force in our politics, and they push fear, whether it's fear over climate change, whether it's fear of the pandemic, whether it's fear over, Donald Trump is like a Nazi. Again, it's galling to hear Vice President Harris talk about that the Republican playbook is fear and division. No, that's their playbook, add lies and deception.
Yeah, I want to ask you about Door County. So infamously, the county that has voted for the winning candidate in every election, every cycle since Bill Clinton in 1996. It's the only county among over 500 swing counties nationwide that can say that. So what happens in Door County?
Well, my guess is that's somewhat a fluke. There's got to be some county that probably does that. It happens to be Door County. But again, Door County reflects Wisconsin. We are a very evenly divided state. We have certain regions that are obviously more Democratic, like Madison, Milwaukee. The out counties are far more Republican. Door County is just one of those that's right there in the middle and is pretty well evenly split. So, I hope they vote for Donald Trump, and I hope they're right again for the 7th election in a row.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.